Let's solve 3 divided by x plus 2 minus 4 divided by x minus 2 equals a negative 15 divided by x squared minus 4. Let's look at the denominator. It looks as if I'm looking at a squared minus b squared, which is equal to a squared, a plus b and a minus b. When I factor. So if I have x squared minus 2 squared, that's x plus 2 and x minus 2. So our least common denominator, use another color, our least common denominator is going to be the x squared minus 4, but we're going to look at it in that format. So if that's the case, I'm going to take the least common denominator and multiply, because that's an equal sign. I'm going to multiply it by each one of the terms. So let's rewrite the whole thing here. So notice if I multiply by x plus 2 times x minus 2, the x plus 2 will cancel out. So it ends up being the next one. So this term, instead of doing that, I'm going to multiply by x plus 2. Let's put that in green. So we're going to cancel out here. Equal to, you remember that x plus 2, x minus 2 is the same thing as x squared minus 4. I'll write that. But once you work a couple of these, you can take a shortcut. So this and that will cancel out. So let's simplify what we have so far. This would be 3 times x minus 2, which is 3x minus 6. Minus, I'm going to multiply, that would be a minus 4x minus 8. And at the top, I just have the negative 15. Simplifying, combining all of my x's, I have a negative x and a minus 14 is equal to a negative 15. I'm going to go ahead and add 14 to both sides. When I add 14, I get a negative 1. If a negative x is equal to negative 1, if I multiply by a negative 1, or you can just say the opposite would be x is equal to 1. Let's check that and see if that works. So if I place a 1 here, I have 3 over 3 minus 4 over 1 minus 2, which would be a minus 1, is equal to a negative 15. 1 squared is 1 minus 4. So I have 1, negative, negative gives me positive. 4 is equal to a negative 15 over a negative 3. which is also 5, so it checks out. Always check those types of problems. Here's a little variation of the same problem. So notice that we have the x squared minus 16. We said that's the same as x squared minus 4 squared, which is equal to x squared minus x minus 2 and x plus 2, x plus 4. Okay, now that we've figured that out, we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to multiply everything by x minus 4 times x plus 4. Again, you're going to see that if it's an x plus 4 in the denominator, you really they will cancel out and you'd be actually multiplying by x minus 4. But we'll go through the whole process here. Okay, let's go ahead and cancel out. And those are the same. So we have 3 times x minus 4 minus 6 times x plus 4 is equal to a negative 10x minus 22. Using the distributive property, combining like terms on the left-hand side, 3x minus 6x will give us a negative 3x, and a negative 12 and a negative 24 will give us a negative 36. We want to get all our x's on one side of the equation and just our numbers on the other side. So if I add 10x to both sides, I get 7x. And then by moving the negative 36 to the other side means that I'm going to add. So if I add 36, plus 36 and a minus 22 gives me 14. X is 2. And make sure you go through and check again by substituting x for 2 into the original equation.